Hello everyone, my fellow Days of Our Lives devotees. Oh, what a week it's shaping up to be in Salem. And I'm practically buzzing with excitement as your longtime editor and die-hard fan who's been dissecting every DiMera scheme. Brady, heartbreak, and teen drama twist since the days when Rachel Black was just a twinkle in Kristen's eye. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on one of the biggest casting shakeups. We've seen in months the identity of the actress, stepping into the formidable shoes of Rachel Black. If you've been dying to know who's taking over from the talented Alice Halsey and how this fresh face is about to ignite an already explosive storyline, buckle up because this is the kind of news that has us all glued to our screens. And trust me, if you want the full scoop with all the juicy visuals and reactions, head straight to our video breakdown after you finish reading. But stick with me here first, because we're diving deep into the drama, the details, and the delicious anticipation that only Days of Our Lives can deliver. According to our deep dive research and confirmed reports straight from the Peacock Studios, the new Rachel Black is none other than the incredibly promising actress Lorelai Olivia Moat. She'll make her highly anticipated debut in the role on Tuesday, March 17th, in an episode that's already being whispered about as a game changer for the Black DiMera family and their tangled web of teen alliances. This marks a pivotal transition. Alice Halsey brought such raw vulnerability and fire to Rachel from her debut in April 2025 through her emotional exit just last week. And now Lorelai is stepping in at a moment when the character's life is teetering on the edge of total chaos. As someone who's watched Rachel evolve from a precocious kid caught in her parents' endless custody battles to a troubled teen grappling with loyalty, betrayal, and her own moral compass, I can tell you this recast feels perfectly timed. It's not just a swap, it's an injection of new energy into a storyline that's been building like a powder keg since Rachel's stint at Bayview Sanitarium began. Let's talk about Lorelai Olivia Moat herself, because this isn't some wide-eyed newcomer stumbling into daytime drama. Sure, this will be her first full-time role in a major television series, like Days of Our Lives. But make no mistake, she's a seasoned veteran in the acting world, with a resume that speaks volumes. You might recognize her from standout performances in projects like The Best Christmas Pageant, Ever Riddle of Fire, and even a stint on Daisy Jones and the Six, where she showcased a versatility that blends emotional depth with that undeniable spark of youthful intensity. Lorelai has honed her craft in theater circuit's indie films and behind-the-scenes production work too, serving as executive producer on several short films that earned critical buzz for their raw storytelling. She's the kind of actress who brings layers, quiet determination one moment, explosive defiance the next, and I have a feeling she's going to make Rachel's internal tug-of-war feel so real, you'll forget you're watching fiction. But here's where it gets even more intriguing and a little fun. Lorelai is also a professional gymnast. Yes, you read that right. Those years of flips, balances, and disciplined training aren't just a footnote in her bio. They could translate beautifully to the physical demands of playing Rachel in Salem. Picture this tense confrontations turning physical, a desperate escape attempt, or even Rachel channeling that athletic prowess during a high-stakes moment of rebellion against her mother's control. It adds a whole new dimension to the role, especially now that Rachel's world is spiraling into revenge plots and secret alliances. And if that weren't enough to make her instantly endearing to fans, get this, she's a self-proclaimed cheese hater. In a light-hearted get-to-know-you moment shared by the show's social media, Lorelai quipped about her dislike for the stuff, adding with a laugh, "Hey, if you don't like something, then you don't like it." As a longtime viewer who's endured more than my share of cheesy soap twists over the decades, hello body switches, and evil twins, I love this quirky honesty. It reminds us that even our stars are human, with their own pet peeves. And it makes Lorelai feel like she's already part of the Salem family. No forced charm here, just genuine personality that's going to shine through in her portrayal. Now, let's shift gears to the heart of why this recast is hitting at such a dramatic peak. For those who've been following the saga, and if you haven't, where have you been? Rachel Black, daughter of the ever-manipulative Kristen DiMera and The steadfast but flawed Brady Black has been through absolute hell lately. Remember when she confessed to shooting E.J. DiMera in a moment of misguided loyalty and rage? That bombshell landed her straight in Bayview Sanitarium, a place meant for healing but quickly turning into a breeding ground for more trouble. Kristen, in true DiMera fashion, couldn't stand by and watch her daughter suffer. In a move that had fans cheering and gasping in equal measure, she pulled Rachel out of Bayview most likely before the girl was anywhere near ready to face the outside world. It was impulsive, protective, and classic Kristen, the mother who'd burned down the town to shield her child, even if it means dragging her right back into the fire. But oh, the complications. Kristen's attempts to sever ties between Rachel and her Bayview friend Sophia have utterly failed and failed spectacularly. Sophia, that cunning teenager still locked away but pulling strings like a puppet master, has dragged poor Rachel deep into her twisted revenge plan against Holly Jonas. You know Holly, the sweet but scarred young woman whose life has been one emotional roller coaster after another, from family secrets to romantic heartbreaks. Sophia's grudge runs deep, fueled by betrayal and jealousy, and she's been using Rachel as her unwilling accomplice. The latest scheme, swapping out pills in Holly's medication stash, a move that's already starting to take a visible toll. We've seen Holly struggling those subtle signs of distress, the fatigue, the confusion that's making everyone around her worry. It's not just a prank, it's potentially dangerous, and the moral weight of it is crushing. This is where the drama ramps up to 11, folks. Rachel, still processing her own trauma from Bayview and her family's endless dysfunction, is now caught in the middle. We've watched her waver those fleeting moments of doubt where she questions Sophia's motives, the guilt creeping in as Holly's pain becomes impossible to ignore. Kristen's warnings fell on deaf ears, and now Sophia's influence feels like a noose tightening. What happens when Rachel finally connects the dots and realizes just how much Holly is hurting because of those swapped pills? The final straw could break everything. Will this new Rachel, brought to life by Lorelai's fresh perspective, find the courage to expose Sophia once and for all? Or will loyalty to her Bayview bond pull her deeper into the darkness, risking her fragile freedom and fracturing the already strained Black DiMera household even more? As someone who's analyzed every beat of Kristen's arc from her iconic villainous days of kidnapping and mind games to her more recent attempts at redemption, I can tell. To you, the storyline is primed for fireworks. Kristen isn't just a mom, she's a force of nature who's battled EJ, Brady, and half of Salem to keep Rachel safe. Pulling her daughter out prematurely was a bold choice, but with Sophia still orchestrating from the shadows, it might backfire in the most explosive way. Imagine the confrontations: Rachel storming into a family gathering, eyes blazing with the truth she can no longer hide. Holly discovering the betrayal and confronting her former circle. Brady stepping in as the voice of reason, only to clash with Kristen's protectiveness. And Sophia, she's the wild card, the teen antagonist whose schemes have escalated from petty threats to life-altering sabotage. Her hold on Rachel is like a toxic friendship straight out of a cautionary tale, and with Rachel's second thoughts mounting, we're on the cusp of a betrayal that could ripple through the entire canvas. What makes Lorelai's debut so thrilling is how perfectly it slots into this powder keg moment. Alice Halsey nailed the conflicted teen vibe, blending innocence with that DiMera edge, and her exit for the exciting new Little House on the Prairie reboot left a void that fans are eager to fill. Lorelai brings her own toolkit, that gymnast agility for any physical scenes, and trust me, Salem teens get into plenty of scrapes. Her veteran poise from film work for delivering those quiet, heartbreaking monologues, and a spark that could evolve Rachel from pawn to powerhouse. Will we see her, Rachel, lean harder into the athletic, defiant side, maybe even using her skills to evade Sophia's clutches, or stand up to Kristen? Or will the cheese-hating, straightforward personality infuse the character with a no-nonsense attitude that cuts through the soap opera cheese, pun intended, and forces real change? Looking ahead, the implications are massive. This isn't just about one teen's dilemma. It's a thread tying into larger Salem narratives, the DiMera power struggles, the Jonas family's healing or lack thereof, and the ongoing teen social wars that mirror real-life pressures in the most heightened way. Fans have been speculating for weeks, could Rachel's exposure of Sophia lead to a full-blown investigation, dragging in lawyers like Melinda Trask or even Johnny and Chanel's complicated lives? Might it push Kristen to extremes, reigniting old rivalries with Brady and Holly? Sweet Holly, how will she rebound from this latest hurt? Especially if it involves pills that echo past traumas in her. Storyline. I've been covering Days of Our Lives long enough to know that recasts like this often breathe new life into characters at their most vulnerable. Remember past shifts with other legacy kids? They didn't just change. They shifted dynamics, opened doors to fresh rivalries, and gave us weeks of must-watch television. Lorelai Olivia Moat has the potential to do exactly that. Her first scenes are going to be electric, watching her navigate Rachel's guilt, her fear of disappointing Kristen, and that dawning horror about Sophia's pill plot. Will she be the hero who blows the whistle? Or will temptation win out? The suspense is killing me, and I know I'm not alone. So Salem faithful, mark your calendars for Tuesday, March 17th. Tune in not just for the reveal of a new Rachel, but for the emotional earthquake she's walking into. As always, I'll be here breaking down every twist, every tear, and every triumphant moment in future articles and videos. What do you think? Will Lorelai's Rachel expose Sophia and turn the tide? Or is more heartbreak on the horizon? Drop your theories in the comments. Hit that subscribe button for more Dual deep dives. And above all, don't miss a second, because in Salem the cheese might be optional, but the drama, it's always on the menu.